Hello, guys. Welcome to the. I forgot the name of my podcast already. No, I really did though. I welcome to the Please Worry About Me podcast. I'm not trying to keep it too serious. This one, I'm trying to make it a little bit more entertaining. I'm not really trying to make it fake or anything like that, just because I sound a little bit more lively in this one. But as you can probably imagine from the title, I'm not always in the best of moods, so sometimes I need to be worried about just because sometimes I'm a little bit more quiet. Sometimes I'm not feeling it. Sometimes things are getting to me a little bit more than other times. But that's really what's going on with a lot of people right now. A lot of things are going crazy. Like you got the Rona. Gotta love that name. Yeah, you got the Rona just taking over. Like for the past coming up on 5 months now, at least in the United States, we've been on lockdown. Yeah, I remember. It just feels like the other day that the NBA shut down because Rudy Gobert got the first case, and then from there, it was just like, will they play the game? Will they not play the game? Yeah, now we got the NBA back. It's kind of crazy to see how the world's kind of starting to get back going, even though everything else is kind of still kind of in limbo. The Rona is crazy. The worst part about the Rona is that like it takes a couple of days for you to know if you got it. You can get it from somebody who might not even be showing any symptoms. It's kind of a hit or miss disease because you never know. Like you can go from feeling like a little off, or from feeling great to feeling a little off, to out of nowhere just being like, whoa. And yeah, I mean, the worst part is that it hits everybody different. You don't even know. I'm guessing that's one of the main reasons why they had us on lockdown. This is just coming from somebody who doesn't have any sort of specific medical training or any medical training whatsoever. Not even specific. I have a couple of people that are in the medical field in my family, not direct family really, like a sister-in-law, but yeah. So I know she's been dealing with it at her hospital, but I know most of us, at least in the beginning, were locked down, social distancing. We were just on lockdown. We weren't even trying to do anything. Everybody's trying to stay home, trying to get their groceries, stock up on their toilet paper, stock up on their Clorox wipes. And the Clorox wipes are hard to come by. Anytime I'd see them come up on Amazon, like I would just snag a couple. Now I'm stocked up. If anybody wants to rob me, the first thing I'll try to get is my Clorox wipes, because I'm loaded when it comes to Clorox wipes. Because they're hard to come by. And I think now they're a little bit hard to come by, but I think they're a little bit easier. I haven't tried because I haven't needed to. But yeah, man, for that first month and a half, I was just at home, bored in the house, and I was in the house bored. I wasn't doing anything. And matter of fact, I felt pretty bad. Like what was it, like 2 weeks into it? I remember one day I went to the grocery store. A couple days later, I started to feel like crap. I'm not sure if it's the Rona, or if I was just letting my anxiety get to me. Like I'm sure right now it's a little bit of my anxiety getting to me. I've been thinking about trying to get one of those antibody tests. I signed up for one, but I just need to go in. But it takes a long time just because I gotta go to LabCorp. Yeah, I gotta go to LabCorp, and through them I gotta either make an appointment or I gotta walk in, and then the walk-in time is horrible. And then on top of that, it's always packed because everybody has to do their medical stuff, because the world might have kind of came to a standstill, and the economy, or not the economy, but the jobs market kind of went down. But people are still getting sick. People are still getting needing medical care, medical attention. They still have to do all that, and on top of that, they have to deal with all these crazy policies about when they go, or they have to like sanitize themselves almost incessantly, just because you never know like who touched what or anything, just because now it's one of the new uncertainties in life. Not only is life not promised, it's also not promised that you can touch a doorknob and then and accidentally touch your face and not end up with a freaking deadly disease potentially. But at the very least, they all have to wear masks. Good old masks. I remember in the beginning they were like, "Oh yeah, masks aren't 100% guaranteed, or not guaranteed, but mandatory or recommended at the very least." And it's just like, come on, dude, why'd you have to go and lie to us? Like, I understand that you wanted to make sure that we had the proper PPE for all medical personnel, but it's like, you really wanna, what's it saying? It's like, I don't know. It's like stab your eye to spite your face or something like that. It's something of that sort. Like, you're just hurting yourself in one way just to not hurt yourself in another way, but you just end up hurting yourself, just making it worse all around. And then, like, because of that, not just because of that, we've also had some other people, both in fringe sections of society or politics or religion, whatever, just fringe parts of humanity that have been like, oh, you don't have to wear masks. Masks are muzzles. Masks are this. Masks are that. It's like, come on, dude. It's a mask. It doesn't do anything. Get an O2 sensor and just put that thing on there. You're good. And then it's like, even if you think that this thing isn't that big of a deal for you, like, you'll be fine if you get it. That's not the point. The point is for other people that you don't know, like, might have any sort of autoimmune disease or any sort of potential illness, or maybe they have somebody next to them that has something, and it's not their fault. It's not their fault that they came out of the womb or were born, or not born, or developed some sort of sickness that just kind of made them susceptible to be one of the victims of this virus in the worst possible ways, just because not everybody gets hit with it the same way. But that's kind of the difficulty about this thing, is that you never know how it's going to hit you specifically. Some people feel well enough that they're just like, oh damn, I didn't even know I had it. And yeah, and then they go on and passing it to other people. That's why we have over 5 million people in the US with COVID. 5 million confirmed. I'm sure there's been a lot more. And then on top of that, there's probably been a lot more deaths that probably weren't like properly allocated into the slot of complications, or there's probably granted there's probably been a couple of cases of people that died from COVID or complications of COVID that maybe they had underlying comorbidities. That's mostly what happens with a lot of them. A lot of those people have those comorbidities when they're like doing their kind of autopsies, and they're kind of trying to keep track of everything to see what happened exactly. We got 5 million in the US and about 20 million worldwide. So we have what do we have? I think it's like less than 5% of the population of the world. So we have 330 million, and it's going down. And the world's like 7.5 billion. So yeah, that's less than 5%. You're probably pushing the 2-3%. I don't know. It's my off day. I don't have school. I'm off work. I'm good. I don't have to do my math properly. But yeah, no, it's crazy. We have so many cases of the Rona. It's just like, you have other countries, they don't have that many. You have Hong Kong. Hong Kong barely has had any cases. They have, I think I saw it was something like 97% mask compliance. It's just like the 3% were people that were coming over from parts of the West going into Hong Kong. It's like, come on, dude. It's like, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that goes to the place that you normally aren't, and then you just decide to be a jerk about it. And just put on your damn mask. Like, it doesn't cost you anything. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. I wear one for long hours on end every day. I wear a KN95, so it's like a legit one. It's not like one of those like, oh, here's a t-shirt, I'm gonna cut it into a nice design, I'm gonna slap it on my face. It's just like, no. I put on a mask, and it's not bad. Sometimes I get a little chafing behind my ear, but for the most part, it's fine. Just put a little bit of lotion behind the ear, just like they probably did when you were a baby, and you're fine. No issues. But it's, yeah, now as the months have gone on, everybody's just been like, oh, let's open everything back up. And then as soon as everything started to go to shit, they were like, let's close it back down. But wait, we're only going to half close it. We're going to make it so anything that's outdoor accessible is still open. So you got all your spots that if you're not located inside of some sort of shopping center, you're still open. You might have some sort of social distancing policies inside, though there's probably lax just because that has to be applied by people earning minimum wage or slightly above minimum wage. And it's like, dude, why would they risk their lives for this? It's just crazy. And then, man, and on top of that, you have people that are wanting things to open up. You got people that are mad that the gym's closed. Like, it's one thing to be disappointed that the gym's closed, and it's just like, okay, yeah, you want to work out. We all want to be able to get fit and undo all this, but it's like there's a time and a place. Right now is not the time nor the place. Just because a gym where people are sweating, people are just swapping fluids with the machines is just, it can, like, even normally it's gross. There's a reason you wipe down your equipment before and after, or at the very least after. It's because it's a disgusting place, and then you really want a place where people have that sort of sanitation to just start sharing in the middle of a pandemic. And it's just like, and if you disagree with the topic of or with the term of it being called a pandemic, by definition it's a pandemic just because it's spread across the different continents, so it's spread. It's spread virally, but at the same time you're like, oh, 20 million, oh, 5 million, oh, 200 something odd thousand deaths, and it has like a very high survival rate. It's like these are the numbers with us wearing masks and us social distancing, at least to a point. And it's like, just imagine if we weren't doing any of this. Imagine if everybody was out and about, no mask, just out there. Like, just out there, no mask, no nothing. Maybe a little bit of hand sanitizer here and there, but still going to the gym, still going to restaurants, still doing this, still doing that. And it's just like those numbers would spike up crazy fast. It's like you see Florida is doing peak numbers. Florida's over here putting up Jordan numbers like crazy. It was, Florida alone was just beating the entire European Union in COVID cases for like a good span, a couple days, and then they stopped. But the only reason they stopped was because there was a hurricane, and the hurricane made them stop testing. But I'm sure like everything's gonna like start climbing back up, and it's just crazy. And it's just like, I get it. Some people might say it's like the flu, but it's not that big of a gamble with the flu. And we have a vaccine for the flu. You get a flu shot, you're good for the most part, unless there's like some sort of crazy strain for it. But I mean, what do I know? I'm just some guy in my 20s. I'm just a normal human being like the rest of us, like the rest of you guys listening, if there is anybody listening. Yeah, people just need to get their stuff together. Just, life is precious. Life is short. You never know when it's gonna end. Why are you wasting it? Why are you making the rest of us waste it? Because you don't want to wear a mask. You don't want to social distance. You don't want to be able to have fun again, unrestricted, anywhere, because you don't want to put on a mask, because you don't want to stay away from Timmy, Sally, and Janet for a fucking 3 weeks. Stay away from them. You don't feel good, stay away. You've interacted with a lot of people in risky behavior. You've gone to risky spots. Stay away from people. Don't do anything dumb. If you need to go out, wear a mask. Stay sanitized. And it's like, most of the spots now, like most grocery stores, most department stores, restaurants, all that, they all have order pickup or delivery options, and a lot of times they're free. It's like, I order my groceries from Walmart. Walmart, super easy. I go on the app like the day before. I go through the app. I pick what I want. It even has the things that I've already purchased as recommended. So I'm saving myself some time. And then typically, there's usually a pickup date, like the next day or in 2 days. So it's like I'll get some of the stuff that I need out, and then once my order's been picked, I get an email. They tell me we didn't have this. Come on down, and you can have substitutions. And it's just like, hey, they didn't have this nacho cheese Doritos in like a family size, but we do have a party size. Or actually, that's not the best way to put it. Like going from party size to family size, because that'd be like a step down. Or it'd be like, oh, let's get 2 of these instead. Or you need 5 pounds of meat. You need 10 pounds of chicken. They don't have a 10-pound box. They'll give you 2 5-pounders. They'll get you your bananas. They'll even get you your freaking blinds for your house, or they'll get you anything in Walmart. Really, you can buy yourself a video game. You can do it all. You don't even have to go inside the store. All you do is, once the order's ready, you go into the app, tell them you're on your way. You pick a stall at the Walmart parking lot, and then you tell them what color your car is and if it's a sedan, a coupe, SUV, or whatever you may have. Simple, smooth. Sometimes it take a little bit of time depending, because I'm sure they have a lot of things to go get, and they probably got to go back and forth because they don't have that many people doing it. But if more people did it, we'd have less people going into stores. We'd have less people contracting the Rona at the store. We'd have less essential workers having to be quote unquote essential, otherwise known as sacrificial. And it's just like, if you can work in an environment that you don't have to be out in the public, like interacting with people, dealing with people's BS, it'd be a lot safer for them. And I'm sure they wouldn't mind doing it that much. Like, I'm sure most people like to have a job. Most people want to be able to work. Most people don't want to just sit in their house and do nothing hours on end. Sure, it's great for some time, but at a certain point you kind of miss going out, doing things. Kind of miss interacting with people. Even miss having something to strive for, somebody to hate. Yeah, what would you do if you didn't have Karen in accounting that you didn't hate? Just like, come on. Somebody's got to hate Karen. Why not you? Just kind of let it do it. And I know people are probably like, oh, they probably prefer to be laid off, and it's like, oh, you get the extra $600. They make more money laid off than they do like a person that's working. And it's like, yeah, I get it. That $600 was a big thing that people were very upset by, or not upset, just kind of peeved at. They're just like, oh, this person over here is making more money than I am, and I'm over here just working my 9 to 5 from my bedroom every day while my kids are in the next room bugging the hell out of me because they're off of school. And it's like, come on, dude. Like, I get it. It sucks, but it sucks that somebody else is making more money than you and not doing anything. But at the same time, it's like, does it really matter? Does it really matter to you that this person that was probably getting underpaid to begin with? Not everybody's getting underpaid, but you know what I mean. This person that was probably getting underpaid was out of nowhere given a little bit of extra money. And it's like, most of the time that people talk about like welfare and like welfare queens and people that take like kind of state or government funded assistance, it's like, oh, they'll just spend it. It's like, good. It's like, oh, they'll just spend it on cars, or they'll spend it on jewelry, video games, technology, stuff like that. And it's just like, good. That's the point of a stimulus check. The stimulus check isn't to hold you over. The stimulus check is to have you move money into the economy, just because it kind of makes the... I took a couple econ classes a couple years back. It's been a minute, but it just kind of increases, I believe it's the velocity of money. It just kind of increases increases the rate at which the money travels through the system. So if somebody spends their stimulus check, they'll probably spend their other money elsewhere. So it's just more money being transferred within the same economy. That it just leads to a more functioning society, just because everybody has more money to spend. But yeah, that's not to say that the people that are working shouldn't be paid more. That's definitely on the government to be able to treat us better. Like, you got Canada up north. Like, yeah, they got less people, but still, we also make tons more money. Our GDP is way higher than theirs is, and we're supposed to be the richest country on earth, and we're supposed to be the greatest country in the world. It's just like, yeah, Canada over there, all their citizens already have healthcare. Our citizens, they're over here losing their healthcare because of a freaking pandemic is making them lose their jobs. It's like, how perverse is that you go from having a horrible situation that's a pandemic that causes job loss, leads to millions of people losing their health insurance because the health insurance is tied to the job that they no longer have. And it's just insane. It's just like, yeah, Canada, they're over there. They got their health insurance already guaranteed, and then they're over there getting $2,000 per month. Sure, there's some restrictions, terms and conditions may apply, stuff like that, in terms of like who gets it, how much everybody gets. But if somebody can get $2,000 from the government, not have to risk their lives, not have to risk the lives of others by having to go out into the world and spreading some sort of disease, or it's just like, it's worth it. It's worth the government having to intervene and being able to support its citizens. Like, we give the government so much money. We give the government a percentage of our money, but we never get anything back. And then we have all these corporations that barely do anything. Like, yeah, freaking Amazon paid 0% in taxes. And it's just like, come on, dude. It's like, I get it. You have tax credits. You have things here and there that make it so, oh, you had your net expenditure, like debt owed to the government, is 0. You don't have to pay taxes, or you have to pay reduced taxes because you did some sort of charity, or you had some sort of credit for opening up in a certain spot, or hiring a certain amount of people of a certain group, or doing anything like this. And it's like, come on, dude. There's no reason that a corporation should pay so little, while Joe Schmo over here paying like 30% in taxes to the state and the government, and he doesn't get anything. Like, what is he paying into? He's paying into Social Security, which they're trying to defund consistently for the past like 30 years now. They're trying to make it so it's insolvent. So they're like, oh, Social Security isn't stable. We need to end it. We need to find another method of retiring. It's like, come on, dude. Why? It's like, you're telling me that in the most successful country of all time, in the richest government of all time, we can't even offer healthcare to our people. We can't even guarantee us like a baseline for life. We can't have a rail system that lets us travel easily within the country. We can't have good roads. It's like, I can't tell you the amount of times I drove down shitty roads. It's like, come on, dude. I pay you guys the taxes. The sales tax rate where I'm at is 10.25%. Or it might even be 10.5%. I don't even know anymore. But it's like I pay this much, and then I see you over here building some sort of roundabout that just kind of makes it annoying for me to go into a neighborhood where it's like, dude, the blocks on these streets are horrible. It's like, I can't drive down this lane because this lane is cracked to hell. I always like to move into the other lane because I don't like feeling like I'm in a roller coaster while I'm driving my car. Why should I risk popping my tires just because the local government doesn't want to invest in paving the roads? We got all these people living on the streets. It's like probably cost you less if you just found them a place, like not even like a great place. Just kind of set them up in some sort of housing. I'm sure it'll pay for itself just because you don't have them sleeping in front of businesses, sleeping underneath underpasses. You don't have to worry about them having to take advantage of any sort of unsuspecting person. You don't have to, like, there'll probably be less crime just because there isn't as much desperation. You'll probably crack down on the crack addiction. Yeah, crack down on the crack addiction. You probably crack down on drug use just because they would have a stable environment. They wouldn't have as many sorrows. That, like, sure, they'd be down on tough times. It'd be horrible, but they wouldn't be like on the edge to the point that they feel like they have to escape. Like, we just need to kind of get our stuff together. We need something. We need somebody to help us. And we got most of these politicians. They're all friends. It's just like George Carlin said, it's one big club and you're not in it. It's like they all talk to each other. It's like, yeah, George W. Bush over here being best friends with Ellen. It's like, come on, dude. Something needs to be done. If not for us, for the future generations. That's like that Kendrick. It's that Kendrick line with dreams of being a lawyer doctor instead of a boy with a chopper. Alright. I guess that'll be it for me today. I've had enough thinking. I gotta sit with myself for 24 hours. Might as well give you guys a good 27 or so. Yeah. Well, this has been the Please Worry About Me podcast. This is more for me than it is for you. If there's anybody listening, please feel free to leave me a review. Comment on my YouTube page or my Anchor page, anchor.fm/please worry. YouTube.com/please worry about me podcast, I hope, or at the very least just type in Please Worry About Me podcast and it should pop up. I've got a few of the podcasts up. I'm about to upload the trailer just to kind of make it set up on there as the channel trailer, and I got the first podcast up and going. Let's see how this goes. Put this up on YouTube and I'm gonna make it so I'm gonna name it like Miss Rona or something. Let's see how this goes. Alright, you guys take it easy. And you guys got anything that you want to let me know, feel free to comment it down below or write it in the reviews. I'll be anxiously waiting. I always refresh my things just to see if anybody commented or anybody said anything. Feel free to subscribe on any of your favorite platforms. You guys have a good one. Peace.